Bueno, muy buenas tardes. En primer lugar, quiero agradecer a las distinguidas autoridades de la universidad y a quienes nos han invitado, a los organizadores de este simposio. Quiero agradecer en nombre de la Universidad de San Carlos esa invitación para compartir con cada uno de ustedes, compañeras y compañeros honorables de los distintos países que estamos representando este día. Quiero primeramente hablarles sobre lo que es la Universidad de San Carlos brevemente, para que ustedes tengan claridad de lo que es y lo que significa una institución como la Universidad de San Carlos, que es la única universidad pública en Guatemala. Me acompaña, quiero presentar al secretario general de la universidad, al doctor Carlos Enrique Camey Rodas, que nos acompaña el día de hoy. Vamos a hacer una breve reseña institucional y luego vamos a entrar a las reflexiones.
And then we're going to do a brief introduction and things and the overview. The University of San Carlos, it has 336 years. It was founded on January 31st on 1676. It's the only public university of Guatemala, like I said before, and besides 14 private universities that we have in our country. So we have 15 universities, and the University of San Carlos is the only public one. In the university, there's about 58.6% total of inscriptions or enroll, 58.6%, and it is in our university. Imagine what this university has in Guatemala when it comes to superior education. As well, 80% of the students are doing their doctorate degrees and their masters, and it covers 20 out of the 22 departments in Guatemala. We do have extensions, but we don't have we don't have any other extended centers. The Constitution tells that is found in Article 82. It gives the only juristic personality, and in its character is the only university that they exclusively can direct, organize, and develop the education. And Article 84 is the budget for the University of Guatemala that it's been given an assignment, and according to the Constitution, is not less than 5% from the general income that comes. And I just saw your expressions, and I got to tell you that, I mean, it's the budget. We never get the 5%. It says 5%, but in reality, we never get it. Each government, they apply it in a different way. They start to doing all kinds of discounts, even some of those. After all the discounts, then they give us the 5% that they had supposed to give us. But some governments, they have complied with it. We have more than 125,000 students, 225,000. We have 39 facilities, in which 20 are so 20 of them are centers for the university, and they are in the entire different parts of the country. We have 2 technological institutes, and this is the offer that we have for the university. We have 106 different careers. We have 47 that they can do it in teaching, 51 in technicals, 56 in different specialties, 174 masters, and 16 doctorate. So we have a total of 450 careers. This is algo very fundamental, and that's why I wanted to teach you and let you know what it is. The University of San Carlos is the only one that I think. I don't know any other university, unless that you guys can tell me that it has a direct representation when it comes into the state in different areas that we probably don't know about. For example, we have someone that represents in the court, which is the highest court. We also have the director, which is me, and I participate in the election of the magistrate in the Supreme Court and also in the appealing of courts. Also, we have a representation of five people that are there, that are always there, and we have another five that are there to substitute in case they need it in areas, in the social areas, which are the ones that also help us out with the monetary incidents that we have. But these are some of the things that I can mention. We have more than 78 representations all over the place. They are very important. And the University of San Carlos have a very important thing.
Y es la única universidad
And it's the only university that I know that it has the initiative of the law. In Guatemala, they only have four institutions, four initiatives: the Congress of the Republic, the President, which is the executive, and the courts, which is the electoral, and also the University of San Carlos. We can generate initiatives before the law, and we present them to the Congress of the Republic.
y por supuesto tenemos
And of course, we have the only public university. We have a great commitment with our Guatemalan society through the supervised exercises in a professional way, such as internships. And right here is talking about the laboratory for the production of medications. And also there is they have a school where they produce medication that is being used for example, an IV fluids that is being used in all the hospitals in the country. And like that, some other aspects that the university contribute to the citizens, and it's a very low cost. For example, the IV fluid at the pharmacy is 12 quetzales. It's $1 and change, and we give it to 3 quetzales.
bien. Vamos a entrar un
Now,
poquito a hacer algunas reflexiones
Let's
sobre el tema del
let's
día de
ponder about some of the things today. I would like to start with the history of the country, of a family,
una agrupación
or perhaps or a social group. It is full of controversies that they start with different reasons.
hecho al ser humano
This has made the human men to find the ways on how to coexist as a species in order to win the battle against violence before they take their lives.
humanidad en crisis,
Is humanity in crisis? Of course.
humano, producto
The human being is a product and a production of culture, regardless of the knowledge that they have, and also not having the sufficient communication and struggling every day to survive and try to overpass the dominion of over things and over of challenges that they have to deal with all these issues within their daily life. Now, with individualism
el individuo a la nube,
and all the other thing and the technology that takes them away from the world, but it also it links them with a lot of information that not necessarily it becomes of a knowledge of the users, but instead is taking them to doubts that are in society, especially in the practices in the social area.
los principios,
The principles,
los valores, la moral
the values,
y la ética
and the ethic,
hasta llegar a los marcos normativos legales
until
nacionales
they get to the framework, they are social products
de cada época.
and sons and daughters, or perhaps milestones, or every season, and also
Las formas de organización
of the forms of organizations that are socially in order to satisfy the needs of humans.
la humanidad
Humanity,
redefinido la religión,
they have defined religions and laws
imaginarios,
and the
sistemas políticos,
and the
modelos económicos
and the politic
a lo largo de
systems
su paso por el planeta Tierra.
as they walk through Earth. However, in every period that they develop, they recognize the divine and the faith that's been given. It has oriented the way that people behave in order to find patterns to live in a very civilized
Hoy
way.
en día, el
Nowadays,
mercado también,
also the market,
hoy en día el mercado también ha
right
llegado
now
a
the
las
market
situaciones de
has
estrés sin
gone
ánimo de
to
discriminación.
places
La
without
evidencia
discrimination.
empírica
The evidence that we
también es
have
algo importante
is
que
something
muestra la
very important
proliferación de
that
prácticas
shows
religiosas
the
que van desde
freedom
ramificaciones de la
to
Iglesia
practice
Católica
the different
hasta
types of
estallidos,
religions, that it
sectas
goes
que han
from the
cobrado la vida
Catholic
de
Church
creyentes
all the
de
way
dogmas
to others
religiosos.
that have taken some
En
people's
el
lives.
actual momento, la
Now, at
humanidad,
this
en la que
moment, in this
inclusive
humanity that we
algunas
live right
prácticas
now,
religiosas promueven el
some religious
individualismo,
practices,
el
they
hedonismo,
prohibit the
provocan la
individualism
ruptura del lazo
and also
social,
selfishness,
inclusive en
and that's
materia de
what
calidad
breaks
social.
the breaks
Las
that link
sociedades
that we have with
contemporáneas
society.
sobreviven
Perhaps the
a partir de la
contemporary
actitud de
civilizations,
sálvese
they do
quien pueda,
live,
abandonando
and
la
then they're
solidaridad
saying, well,
y promoviendo la
help yourself,
codependencia
do what you
individual
can do.
a
But
costa de un
however,
necesario
we
descubrimiento
have
del
to
propio.
sacrifice
El abandono
our
a los
fellow
niños
men
y
if
los ancianos
necessary.
bajo la excusa de
Ahora,
la productividad
leaving the
entorpece los
kids and
procesos
elderly people, it
de
pretty much
formación de
is,
valores de las
is
sociedades
an
conocimientos.
obstruction in
Se
order
sustituye un régimen
to
axiológico por
go
otro
ahead
u
with all the
otros que
things that we
garanticen
need
la
to do
prevalencia de lo
in life.
material sobre lo
Why?
social.
Because
Y lo más
sometimes there
complicado
is
de todo ello,
things that are very
hasta
materialistic,
sobre la
and what's
dignidad humana.
complicated is that the dignity of humanity gets lost.
La fe como anhelo de trascendencia
Now, the
establece normas que
faith,
coadyuven a la
faith
armonía
will
social.
help us bring
De
harmony.
ser transgredidos ponen en
If it's
riesgo la
broken,
salvación individual
it puts at
y de la
risk
comunidad más próxima,
all the
la familia.
community and the people
La
around that, which
religión
is the
como
family.
práctica de fe orienta la
Religion
conducta humana
help the
a la
conduct of a
comunión de los
human
individuos
to
en
be in
convivencia
communion with
pacífica
individuals that they
procure
live
la
around
salvación
with,
colectiva.
and it may give you
Las
the
religiones,
collectively
lejos de
salvation.
dividirnos como especie humana,
Instead of dividing
debieran
us,
orientarnos a
the
encontrar
religion should
canales de
be
comunicación
guiding us to find
respecto a
those
las otras
channels of
formas de entender
communication
el mundo,
in
su
how
origen,
understand
su
the world,
desarrollo,
its origin, its
su
development,
transformación.
its transformation.
No obstante, la pérdida del valor
However,
social de la
when
tolerancia
the
ha
values
llevado
of
a la
social
humanidad a
life has
encontrar
been
en las
lost,
religiones
then
una excusa más
what
para la
happens
opresión, la
is the
confrontación y
religions
el odio
become an
que
excuse in
justifican
order
inclusive
to
hacer la guerra
confront
por
others, to develop hate,
creencias del
and
propio.
to start a war
En
against
el
our
país
fellow
del que
men.
procedo,
And in
el
the
choque
country
de
that I
culturas
come,
producto del descubrimiento,
it
conquista y
is
colonización llevó a un choque de
básicamente,
culturas y
so the
religiones.
cultures, what
La
we have,
tradición
it becomes a
politeísta de
war
los
among the
pueblos
cultures.
prehispanos
Why?
asentados
Because
en los
the
territorios de
pre-Hispanic
Guatemala
countries
allá por el siglo XV
in about
chocó
the
frontalmente
15th century in
con la religión
Guatemala,
católica que se
they
utilizó como instrumento de
became a
dominación de los
problem
pueblos
with the
prehispánicos.
Catholic Church because of the colonial
La
times.
experiencia de los
The
diálogos
experience
interreligiosos en
of the
Guatemala facilita que
dialogues in
exista
Guatemala,
el
it
contexto
facilitates
económico
that it may exist
ecuménico
the
que promueve el
economic
encuentro de las
system,
múltiples expresiones
which it
religiosas que
does
se
help
practican
in
en el
order
país.
to promote the
Ese
religions
contexto
that are
ecuménico
found
es
in our
algo
country.
muy
And
importante.
that is very important for us.
Otro ejemplo
Another
importante
example is
que quiero yo platicarles
that I want to
esta
tell you
tarde
about
es
is
un trabajo que se hace
a work
interreligioso y lo constituye el grupo de los
interreligious,
cuatro. No sé si han
and
escuchado el grupo de los
I
cuatro
call it the group
o
of the
G4
four,
como se conoce en
or
Guatemala.
G4 that is called in
Este es un
Guatemala.
espacio de encuentro donde
This is
está
a
la
space
academia,
in where the
los derechos
academy
humanos
and human
y
rights
las iglesias
and
predominantes en
all
el
the
país.
predominant churches
Está
in,
integrado
and this
por
is
el rector de la Universidad de San
by
Carlos,
the
el
director
procurador de los
of the
derechos
University of San
humanos,
Carlos,
el
the
presidente de
attorney
la Alianza
general,
Evangélica
and the
y el
Evangelic
arzobispo
Alliance leader,
metropolitano.
and the
Y desde
Metropolitan
el año 2006 ha venido
Archbishop.
jugando un papel determinante
And there's a
en el
role,
acontecer
very
nacional,
a determinant
constituyéndose
role
en este momento
that constitutes
en la
at
voz
this
casi
moment
profética que
in the
alerta a las
almost
autoridades
prophetic voice
estatales
that alert
y a
all
los
the
sectores
state leaders
estratégicos del país sobre
and
las
the strategic
principales
sectors
problemáticas
of
nacionales que
the
afectan la
main
paz social
problems that
y
affects
ese adecuado
peace
desarrollo de las personas y,
and
por supuesto,
affects all the people, of
nuestra
course,
dignidad.
and of course their dignity.
Desde la mediación de la Universidad de San Carlos
Now,
y
from
este
San
avance
Carlos,
importante que ha habido
from
en la
this
sociedad
university, and in
guatemalteca
this
con la
advancement that has
participación de
happened in
G4,
Guatemala with G4,
en noviembre del
in
año
November
pasado,
of
G4
last
se
year,
pronunció,
G4
el año
was
2014 se
pronounced,
pronunció
it was pronounced
luego de un análisis, una
from
investigación
an
y les quiero
research
manifestar
And I want to tell you and manifest to you that everything that it was given in that document in November of 2014, it became true after April 16, 2015. Those manifestations, you know them. In reality, they have been very important in our country, and that it finished the ex-president and former president that are in function right now, and they are in jail right now. I wish I would have talked to you a little bit more, but I'm going to talk a little bit more before I finished of the National Platform for the Reform of the State. G4 has been the lens that has credibility and hope in Guatemala. So I have a lot of faith in this, and it has been formed by the four institutions. But the University of Juan Carlos, through because they hadn't been heard by the popular voice, they come and according to the things that they bring and to pass all these problems, and they pretty much raise their voice to the platform of the national platform. We thought that some organizations were going to attend to this particular meeting, but this everyone in this platform is about 229 organizations that are actually part of it, and that includes all kinds of people that is being represented, the professional colleges, universities, research centers, indigenous people, I mean the private sector, any type of organizations that comes from students, from the states, from peasants, from the environment. I mean, there's a total of 229 organizations that they have been part of our university. This is a very important forum, very fundamental, that there is a lot of credibility and hope of what we're doing. And we analyze all the reforms of the different laws, especially, you know, that we're in a presidency time right now, that we are going to have to elect again, and we have been working hard to reform the law and with the political parties that the Congress has actually paid attention to it. But before we came, we presented once again our petitions to the electoral law, and I'm going to mention 4 or 5 aspects that are fundamental. One, no. So if a party gets elected, they have to finish their 4 years as a congressman or as a mayor in that particular party, or pretty much, you know, just quit. Another one is the re-election, which is another 4 years. And the financial theme in Guatemala, unfortunately, you know, there is too much movement when it comes to financial matters. So we are trying to get a law where there might be a limit in order to finance all these political parties, and it could be the same for committees and for other parties. And another topic that is a controversy with the media is time. It's time that it should be given to everyone in an equal basis. And the last one is that they may participate, including those political parties and committees, that they may bring the topic of women and men, also the participation of 70% of youth. And that's why I'm very happy that the congressmen here of Costa Rica, that they are young. And it's been fundamental in this particular fight in Guatemala, and he has had a lot of participation and responsibility, and we are proposing this law so they may have a certain percentage in the youth. So this platform, this national platform, is going to continue after the elections and the political party. We are going to propose some other changes, like the law of hiring, which is going to present it, perhaps civil service, and some other topics that are fundamental, so they may see that there's going to be a change of the political area, and you also know what is happening, but also we are thinking in working with a more just and worthy country. Thank you.